Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today I am showing you a flip through of this beautiful new colouring book. This is Goddess Colouring, illustrated by Ana Jarén. This was sent to me by the publishers, Art Publishing. They are very kind, and with a lot of their new book releases they do a colourist call out where they ask anyone from the UK if they'd like to receive a copy of this book in advance, and I said absolutely, I'd love to receive it, and I thought I would show you in a flip through today. So let's get straight into it. We have the same image at the start of the book as we do on the front cover. I like the idea of colouring this sort of like sunsetty look on her robe. That is absolutely stunning. I like how it matches with the reds of the flowers and the purples of the grapes. I think this is a really fun colour scheme to maybe expand on for this page. Moving into the publisher information and the introduction. So this was illustrated by Ana Jarén and edited, designed, and I think they have different people who write the information, because with each picture of the goddess there is a little description about them. So this book contains 46 different goddesses from all around the world, which is what I love about this. It's not just the traditional Greek or Roman goddesses. You've got some from across the globe. You've got some from Africa, Europe, Asia, I think even some religious-based ones. So let's have a look. First one here is an Incan goddess, Mama Quilla or Quilla. I'm going to try my best with the pronunciation of these. Please do correct me in the comments if I get them wrong. I did do some research beforehand to try and help me find out how to pronounce some of them, but it changes between different people's accents, which was tricky. So Mama Quilla, this is the goddess of the moon, often referred to as Mother Moon. So we've got the beautiful fox that she is associated with. This would look beautiful with a dark night sky in the background. Next we've got Benzaiten. She is a goddess from Japan. She is a water goddess with this gorgeous dragon in the background. I think this would look lovely with sort of tealy blues for the dragon, and maybe bring some of those colours into the dress. Here we have our front cover goddess. This is Demeter. She is a Greek goddess, and she is celebrated as a mother goddess. She is tied with the changing seasons, and I found this really interesting reading about this, that she is separated from her daughter Persephone, who is trapped in the underworld, and once a year in the spring Persephone returns, and that's why we have the seasons of spring and summer. And during the autumn and winter she's so sad and upset that her daughter has been taken, that's why we have a barren winter. I found that really interesting and something that I never knew before, which is why I really enjoy these kind of books with information on the side. Then we have Parvati. This is a Hindu goddess. She is a goddess of love, devotion and determination. She is pictured here with a gorgeous tiger. This would be lovely with some bright greens and oranges to contrast. A nice summery page, this one. Here we have Ma'at. This is an Egyptian goddess. She is goddess of truth, justice and balance. You can definitely see this with a lot of golds and maybe some dark blues to sort of complement nicely with the golds, maybe on this dress. I think would look beautiful. Here we have Artemis, another Greek goddess. She presides over wild animals and hunting. So you can see her pictured here with many different animals. This looks to be a nice winter scene. There's got some wolves, a boar, deer, hair. She is also associated with the moon, so we've got a beautiful moon here. And I don't know, is this snow or is it stars in the background? It could be either. I think it'd be interesting to colour this as a snow scene, but it would also be a great one to do as a buddy colour with someone. I think there's a lot of different interpretations for this page. You could do it sort of bright and colourful or nice snowy landscape. Then we have Ceridwen. She is a Welsh goddess, and she is a brewer of magical potions. I picture this one with lots of greens. She's associated with shape-shifting, manifestation and transformation. She is associated with 3 different animals. We've got the otter, eagle and greyhound. And these are animals that she supposedly transforms into. Absolutely beautiful. We have Green Tara. This is a Buddhist goddess that originates in Hindu mythology. She is a goddess for, what does it say here? Guidance and protection. When I saw this page, it reminded me of Candice, Happy Catastrophe, our resident Buddhist nun, or Buddhist nun. As we say in the UK, we would say Buddhist rather than Buddhist. Interesting how we pronounce things differently across the world. So yeah, when I got this book, I reached out to Candice and was like, oh, there's a Buddhist goddess. It made me think of you. But this lends itself to some absolutely gorgeous colours. I'm thinking golds, I'm thinking reds, yellows, maybe even some greens. Beautiful. Here we have Ixchel. She is the goddess of the moon and a Mayan goddess. She is associated with seasons and cycles of nature. You can see we've got the moon phases up here. We've got lots of nature surrounding her. She is carrying a water jug, kind of similar to like the Aquarius star sign. We have Izumi. She is Japanese goddess of the dawn. This is a really bright, happy, cheery page. Definitely yellows on this page with the gorgeous bright sun. We've got some fun hens, or roosters, I should say. Roosters they look like down here. You can do some fun colours with the water. Not sure what colour I'd do the dress. Maybe like a nice bright pink would go nicely with the rest of the page. Now this is one that I looked up the pronunciation for. I believe it's Xochitlicue. She is an Aztec water goddess and associated with springs, rivers, lakes and oceans. She definitely would do well with some blues on here, but she's feeling quite sad. She's got some tears on her face. So a different sort of emotion than you see on a lot of colouring pages represented. I love all of these sort of Aztec symbols around here. Be interesting to see if they mean anything. Here we have Aniket. She is an Egyptian goddess and is responsible for flooding of the Nile and the rich fertile mud that is left behind. So associated with sort of water, nature, definitely some, I would see this more as like a tealy blue rather than a bright blue for the river of the Nile here. We've got this gorgeous, what do you call this, an antelope or something like that. We have Freya. She is a Norse goddess and she presides over blessings, fertility and love. This, I don't know why, but I see her in purples. I think she'd look gorgeous in purples. I think this is meant to be a wintry scene. We've got some snow on the branches here. She's chilling with a boar and some sort of wild cat here. I love this page. It's This is one of my favourites in the book, and I will definitely be colouring this at winter time, I think. This is Yuki Onna. She is a Japanese goddess associated with snowstorms and the icy wilderness. I think she would look stunning in some very pale blues, maybe even like white hair, like maybe even like just leaving the shading of the hair as it is to make it really contrast with the rest of the page. I think this one would look absolutely beautiful coloured in with all these crystals as well. Gorgeous page. And then you can see here these are actually some sort of see-through fabric for the sleeves, so you can have a lot of fun trying to practice how to colour see-through fabric for this one. We have Gaia, a Greek goddess, and she is, oh, sorry if you just heard the motorbike there. She is a goddess associated with the planet and sort of is a mother type goddess. I love the image of this, how the world looks like her pregnant belly with all these sort of cherubs around her. I'm not sure what colour I'd do her. She could be a whole variety of different colours. I think I would probably colour the rest of the image and then pick one of maybe the flowers colours to do her dress. Look absolutely gorgeous. We have Lakshmi, a Hindu goddess. She protects the universe and is often depicted as a mother goddess. You can see she looks very regal here, sat upon a lotus flower. Definitely see pinks in this one. And we've got lots of money, coins, riches here. Some gorgeous elephants in the background. That would be a fun one to colour. Persephone, this is one we talked about, or we saw mentioned earlier with, was it Demeter? Was it Demeter? Yes, Demeter. Persephone is Demeter's daughter. She is the queen of the underworld, spends half the year in the underworld and the other half coming up to land, marking the beginning of spring. She is surrounded by all these skulls here, but also it's contrasted with these daffodil flowers, which I think is a really interesting look to the page. She's holding a pomegranate, looks super regal on this throne with Cerberus sat next to her. I imagine Candace would colour this in a really interesting way. She would have a lot of fun colouring the skulls and the bones. This is definitely a fun one to colour. I can see it with dark, moody colours for the background and sort of bright pops of yellow just to add to the contrast of the page. Gorgeous. Here we have Mama Kuka. She is a Inca goddess of water and fish, also known as the Sea Mother or Mother of Lakes. We've got all these beautiful fish around here. I could see these almost being like a rainbow colour of fish, bringing in some of the colours with maybe pops of gold for the background. This is a nice summery page to colour. We have Anya. She is a Celtic goddess and is associated with summer, as we can see by this bright, beautiful sunshine. And we've got her pictured here with her horse. It says here that it's a red mare. This, it actually says that she transforms into the mare, which is interesting. It would be cool to maybe do it like the horse and her have a similar sort of colour palette to them. Like maybe her skin colour and the horse's colour are the same and the hair colours are the same to sort of show that she transforms into the horse. That would be interesting to do. This is one of my favourite pages, I think. I don't know what it is about it. I love this tree in the background and all these leaves, even though they're tiny. I think they would be fun to colour with just a quick, easy base of water-based marker and then go over with a tiny bit of pencil shading to add some depth. This is Idun. She is a Norse goddess, keeper of the magical apples of immortality. I think it would almost be fun to colour these apples golden to sort of have that magical look to them. Oh, this is a fun one. This is Sedna, mother of the deep. She is an Inuit goddess of the sea. You could see this with sort of icy blue colours. Oh my gosh, look at her fingers. Look at her fingers. They're kind of like water jets almost. She's like projectile hitting the sea with some water jets. It's kind of creepy almost. Really interesting page, but I love all the different animals. We got the walrus, seal, a little dolphin, whales, fish, polar bear. Really interesting. It says that this is a sad story. She becomes a ruler of the underworld when she is thrown over the side of the boat by her father. Her attempts to cling onto the boat are futile. Her father chops off her fingers, and as she sinks to the underworld, her fingers transform into the seals, whales, and walruses that populate the seas of her homeland. That is interesting. I love learning about all these different goddesses from different cultures and areas from around the world, because a lot of them I've never heard of before. So this is a great book to teach yourself a little bit more. Here we have Dianmu. She is a Chinese goddess, and she is said to use polished mirrors to direct bolts of lightning across the sky. So kind of like the goddess version of Thor, the god of thunder, but she does lightning. This would definitely have lots of yellows, bright golden tones. I like this drum down here. So the drum creates the thunder, and she creates the lightning with the mirrors. That's a really interesting interpretation of how sort of weather would work back in thousands of years ago. We have Rhiannon here. She is a Celtic goddess of horses. She is stood looking rather regal here. Definitely see this with lots of earthy natural tones with the horse down here. Beautiful. And I love this little castle in the background. We have Hestia. She is the goddess of the house, of the home. She represents that family, and she is a Greek goddess. Not sure what colours I'd see this in. When I first look at this, I picture her with a white robe. Not sure why, but it's that sort of like purity kind of idea for her. She oh, that's interesting. She refuses to marry and asks Zeus, who, if you don't know, they believe Zeus is like sort of like the king of the gods, to allow her to stay a maiden forever, which he grants her. She is considered grounded and self-assured. So she's sort of like one of the first feminists, maybe, of thousands of years ago, sort of not wanting a man to tie her down. She's happy being by herself and representing home and family just as she is. She doesn't need anyone else. We have Guan Yin here. She is another Buddhist goddess. I love this dragon that she is depicted with. The legend says that she was thrown out of her home by her father when she refused to marry and went to join a monastery. Later, when her father became ill, she sacrificed her arms and eyes to help him. Her father was so in awe of her kindness, he ordered statues of her to be placed across the kingdom. She holds a willow branch here, which is associated with compassion, and rainwater drips from its leaves like tears. And in her other hand, she holds a vase containing the nectar of life. Like a willow tree, she is said to withstand the storms of life with elegance and strength. Another interesting goddess that I'd never heard of. I like the sort of rainy scene we've got here. Lots of greens and blues on this page, I imagine. I will be honest though, when I first saw this page, I thought this was like her severed arm. I didn't see that it was a vase that she was holding. I thought she had one hand down here and one hand that just ended with a little stump, and I thought, oh, that's a bit gruesome. But no, it's a vase. Although the legend says that she did cut off her hands, but not in this book. Oh, this is a gorgeous one. Look at the bee. Love the bee. This is Yi, an Australian goddess. She is responsible for light creation and the changing seasons. We can see that she has lots of sea life down here and some big rays of sunshine, yellows, maybe even deep blues to contrast with it, maybe yellows at the top, blues at the bottom. I think would be a gorgeous way to colour this page. Here we have Gamunjang Egi. This is a South Korean goddess and is a goddess of luck, fate and destiny. Just reading this, and it's another interesting legend here, how she was the third daughter of a beggar couple. After her birth, the family began to accumulate wealth, which the youngest daughter claimed to be responsible for. She was thrown out of their home for her arrogance. Whilst fleeing, she was tricked by her sisters and cast a spell on them, turning one sister into a blue centipede. Is that pictured here? Oh yeah, centipede down here. And the other into a mushroom, as we see here. Years later, while her blind parents attend a feast for beggars hosted by Gamunjang Egi, the family reunites and the truth becomes apparent. She is thought to have the power to shape human destiny, granting a prosperous future for those who are kind. Her message is one of generosity. Beautiful. I love this robe that she is wearing. Here we have Saraswati. She is a Hindu goddess, and she is associated with all things that flow from water to prose. I love this gorgeous peacock here. Blues and greens involved here, and maybe some rich gold tones for the border. Super glamorous image. She looks absolutely stunning. I love this one. Can't wait to colour this. This is Istra, an Anglo-Saxon goddess of the dawn, sunrise and new beginnings. The word Easter is actually thought to be originated from her name. As you can see, it is a similar spelling, and I imagine it was probably said quite similarly. She is thought to bring blessings and joy, as you can see, with these bunnies surrounding her, flowers which are blooming, even a few Easter eggs down here. This is a perfect page to colour for the Easter time. I imagine this with lots of pinks and purples and greens. A nice spring pastel colour palette. This is Gula, also known as Nicarak. She is a Mesopotamian goddess, and she is considered the supreme goddess of health and healing through magic and scientific means. I am a big fan of this dog here. He has such a stoic expression on his face, which is really fun. I like all the fruit down at the bottom, and this sort of idea of that she's in her home with all these herbs and pots and spices that she uses to create potions or remedies for people. Beautiful. Here we have Athena, a Greek goddess of war. She is depicted here with loads of olive branches and a gorgeous owl to colour, olivey toned greens. I picture even a really, really deep, dark, almost black toned olivey green for the background, some gold around the shield area, and her in sort of paler tones to contrast with everything. I think that would look stunning. This is Pele, a Hawaiian goddess. She is considered the creator of Hawaiian Islands, controlling the volcanic flow of lava that shapes the stark rocky terrain. She holds a Hawaiian poi, which is a dog thought to be native to Hawaii, and surrounded by branches of an oheleo plant, and these berries are sacred to her. I'd have to Google what these look like. I'm not sure what colour these are. If you know, let me know. This is absolutely beautiful. I love how she's sort of erupting from the volcano and how her hair here looks like it could be lava. It would be nice to do it a very, very deep dark red or even a hint of brown to it. This would be gorgeous to colour. Here we have Zoki Quetzal, or Joshi Quetzal, something like that. I did look up how to pronounce this. She is an Aztec goddess, considered a seductress. She is standing on a throne, wearing the skin of a jaguar, indicating that it was made for a god. Her sacred animal is this Quetzal bird. I wonder what colours these are. I see it and I picture blues and purples, like bright colours that maybe match with the sort of patterning on her top here. Gorgeous. I love this one. This is Papatuaneku. This is a Maori goddess. She is a goddess of creation, connects living things. You can see this sort of idea that she is connected with the sea, the land and the sky. I like the idea of like each of these sections being a different colour, and out of her hands are sort of blooming flowers. These are related to her life-giving qualities, and her hair merges where the mountains begin. That's a really fun image. Here we have Aphrodite, one of the more common, well-known goddesses, definitely one I'd heard of before I saw this book. This is a Greek goddess of love, desire and passion. She is said to have been born from the sea, as we can see here with the waves. We've got a shell at the bottom, an octopus, and she's also accompanied by a swan, which represents her sort of elegance and beauty. And we've got the roses up the top here, another flower that's associated with love. I wonder what colour I could do the hair. Maybe a pinky red, a dark neutral brown, not sure, blonde even. Lots of fun ways to interpret this page. This is Coventina. She is a English goddess, something that I'd never heard of, even though it's from Northumberland in the UK. That is up north from where I am, that is near Hadrian's Wall. She is associated with life cycles, renewal and beginnings. She is seen sitting on a lily pad, surrounded by gifts from her devotees. A water jug is underneath her arm, which symbolises purity, and is seen to represent the natural ebb and flow of time. Another gorgeous page. Oh, I love this one. It's one of the mermaid. I seem to be really attracted to the water themed ones in this book, which is unusual for me. Water isn't my favourite thing to colour. This is Yemaya. She is a West African goddess from the Yoruba culture. She is considered the source of all water and all life. She is depicted here as a mermaid, and her name means mother of fish. She has, I could just see this full of different colours, like you've got a watermelon here, sea turtles, loads of coral, and all this brightness at the bottom I can see contrasting beautifully with the darkness of the night sky at the top. Love to colour this one. I love this one. This is Hecate. She is a Greek goddess of magic and the night. Definitely can add some sort of mystical colours here. I picture this with some shiny metallic watercolours, especially for all these like wispy bits and the stars in the sky. I think that would look absolutely stunning. Maybe with a dark blue kind of outfit here. And she has got a black dog and a polecat. This she is believed to belong in between places, crossing from our world to the underworld. She is associated with the witchcraft, the moon, ghosts and necromancy. So she is absolutely beautiful. Here we have Morrigan. She is a Celtic goddess of death and magic. She is often depicted as a tripartite goddess, a trio of sisters who act individually or as one. Her three forms are referred to as Bad, the crow, Matcha, a symbol of sovereignty, and Nemain, representing the fury of war. So you can see she's surrounded by crows here. There's lots of blacks and blue tones, maybe even some black hair for her, and contrasting it with an opposite colour would be nice on this one. Oh, this is another beautiful one for summertime. We've got Ishtar, a Mesopotamian goddess. She is considered the Queen of Heaven, seen as presiding over love and war. It's both wonderful and destructive. We've got these 8-pointed stars in the background, pictured with the lion, these sort of wings behind her. Gorgeous. Here we have Oshun. She is a West African goddess, also from the Yoruba region. She is a water deity, presiding over sensuality, love, generosity and beauty, and associated with the power of women and femininity. She is said to have worn a dress of gleaming gold and yellow, so I'd have to use gold and yellow for this. I also picture reds and green on this page. I think that would contrast nicely with the gold and yellow tones of the dress. I think this is a great book as well to practice different skin tones, as you've got goddesses from all across the world. We've got some Greek ones, so we have some more paler skin tones, African ones for the darker, Indian, East Asian, whole variety of skin tones, which would be great practice. Definitely something I need to work on in the future. Here we have a white buffalo calf woman. Interesting that she is the only one in this that doesn't have a specific name, just white buffalo calf woman. She is said to have first appeared when 2 scouts went out in search of food and came across this mysterious woman. One man was overcome by lust and approached the goddess, and she reduced him to smoke and bones. She told the second man to inform his people of her arrival. She introduced the people to a number of sacred traditions, also known as the 7 ways to pray. She also brought the white buffalo calf chanupa, a ceremonial pipe, each part of which has I'm assuming that's this pipe here, each of which has a symbolic meaning known to the Lakota. She's accompanied by her sacred Africa. She is accompanied by her sacred animal, the white buffalo, and a bald eagle, which is revered by the Lakota. After passing on her traditions, she is said to have transformed into a white buffalo and left. She symbolises nature and connecting people with the gods, and she's associated with family and belonging. I also love this little cow that's sort of resting its head against her shoulder. That's really sweet. We have Brigid. This is a Celtic goddess associated with light, fire, passion and poetic traditions. Definitely picture her with bright, fiery, orangey hair. She is associated with the tradition of Imbolc, which is, I believe it's a pagan tradition or a pagan holiday. It's also called St. Brigid's Day, which marks the beginning of spring, as you can see as she is holding some crocus flowers. And we've got the Brigid cross at the top here, a symbol that is associated with Imbolc. And she provides opportunities to grow and use her wisdom to understand how to move forward. So with her bright orangey fiery hair and the colour of the crocuses, I picture the cloak being a green or a bright yellow to sort of contrast with that. I think that would be lovely. Here we have Iris, a Greek goddess, personifies the rainbow. So she is stood here on a rainbow. She acts as a divine messenger and holds a pitcher of water from the river Styx, which is one of the rivers in the underworld. And she is depicted with majestic golden wings. Beneath her feet is a rainbow, so lots of gold tones. We've got the rainbow, maybe a white dress to sort of complement nicely with that. Some blue waters for the ocean at the bottom, and this page will come together quite nicely. That's Iris. And then we have Isis, an Egyptian goddess, presides over healing, magic, and the moon. Her name literally translates to mean Lady of the Throne. As you can see on her head, she is wearing this throne headdress, and she is standing on a lily pad, and this sort of reflects the healing nature of her. And the final goddess in this book is Shakti. She is a Hindu goddess representing the feminine energy and divine powers that govern the universe. It's got to have some golds on here. Lots of pages need to have golds. Pink for the lotus flower. And wow, she has so many arms, probably to represent all the different powers of the universe, and the idea that she is restores balance in the universe. Another absolutely gorgeous image to finish off the book, and we have this little motif here at the end, just as an added extra as you finish the book. So that was the Goddess colouring book. A bit more of a chattier flip through as I read through and described to you some of the meanings of the goddesses. I've already gone through and read through each of these once and tried to relay what I learned from them. I find this really interesting, and goddesses have always been something that I found interesting but never known much about. Gods and goddesses. It'd be nice to have a gods version of this book, maybe next one. But yeah, the next colouring book by Ana Jarén, Goddess Colouring. Thank you very much to Lomart Publishing. Let me know which was your favourite page down below. I think my favourite had to be this one, Yuki Onna. I just think she's gorgeous, and I can just see this page coloured. I think that one has to be my favourite. Let me know which was yours. Right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.